Yes, guys, welcome back to the Don Pod for our Thursday night preview of Essendon and Richmond. Dreamtime back at the G for the first time in 3 years, 2 years, 3 years. Hello, Nathan. How are you?
I'm good, thanks, Sam. How are you?
I am well. My mic's on tonight, so that's
good
a
start, buddy.
if you ask me.
Should we try and get up and about for this one, or are we coming in a little flat and a little?
Well, I did do a post on the page for the live saying that we will talk shit about Essendon for the next half an hour and then tip us anyway. So I guess we may as well start early and get excited now. What do you reckon?
Well, as you know, Sam, I'm going the other way to everyone else and saying that we're going to be fine. Don't change a thing. Stay the course.
You always have been a bit weird, but that's okay. Right, usual preamble. Pretty awful history against Richmond. Last 5 matches have been losses. I'll save you time. All losses by 39, 12, 23, 8, and 71. Pretty sure I was at that game where we lost by 71 points. Good times. Haven't beaten Richmond, let alone beaten them in a Dreamtime game since 2014, where we beat them by 50 points. Ben Howlett kicked 5 goals. Joe Danaher with 3. Job Watson, the leading disposal getter, with 36. My boy, Job. That just doesn't make you sad. I don't know what will. The last time we did play against them, round 12 last year over there in Perth, was one of the better attended games in Perth all year, without even a Perth side featured. We seem to remember we got in front in the last quarter.
And
then
they kicked the last 6 or something, didn't they?
Yeah, we lost by 39, but we were up and about at that point. We thought we were okay.
Yeah, we were playing good footy right then. And I remember when we got in front and I can't remember. I was pumped. I was like, oh my God. Because at the time, I was just like, we're going to be competitive. We're going to,
we'd just beaten West Coast over there.
Yeah.
That was
huge. We thought that was an achievement.
Yeah. Turns
out that it wasn't.
And then, I think it was Waterman ran into an open goal to put us in front. And then, they kicked 7.
And then I think, didn't Richmond lose a few after that and fell away?
They fell out of the 8 after that. So we went from us being up and about because we thought we were competitive against a good side to, maybe Richmond aren't that good. And in turn, neither are we. Anyway, I haven't done the usual recap of the last time we played them because I feel like it doesn't really add a lot. And we can talk about it anyway. It was we just did. So that's that. One of the few times in the last couple of years I thought we were actually half decent at football. Selection table, in comes Devon Smith and effectively Alec Waterman. Out goes Caldwell, who is injured, and Cutler, who is omitted. Who you would assume Cutler would be the medi-sub. And for Richmond, in come Gibicus and Robbie Tarrant. Out go Nyon. Sorry.
Go with that.
Marlon Pickett, and probably a big out. Actually, Pickett's quite a big out, but an even bigger out is Noah Bolter, who's hurt himself last week.
Which, just to go on to the Richmond course there, it's interesting that, Bolter's now been sent back in the last few weeks. He's out this week for an injury, and they brought Robbie Tarrant back, who they recruited from North Melbourne, who I'm surprised basically was dropped about 3 weeks ago and hasn't been able to get back in now without this injury to Bolter. Anyway, I just find that a little bit interesting about the path of Richmond at the moment.
Well, I think they're probably the Tarrant pickup was one last shot at a flag, and they're not really at that level. So I guess there's.
But if that was the one last shot, then he played the first 6 games or whatever, and then Bolter was playing forward, and then they've shifted it back where Bolter's gone. Anyway,
Bolter's a beautiful kick of the football for goal too.
Bolter makes a very dangerous forward because of his size, his athleticism, and
the man can kick a long way and straight. So
good mark too, good back mark.
Yeah. So it's a big out. Not that I want to be celebrating or thinking we can win because the player's out or anything, but Bolter's scares me. He's one of those ones. Pickett, bit of a shame. Him and his partner designed the Richmond's Dreamtime jersey, and he goes and gets himself suspended.
What did you think of his suspension for the week for that bump? Just
I didn't actually see it. I
okay.
Gotta be honest, so I can't really comment.
I honestly don't think it was. I don't think it's a week. I think that the game is trending into a place where I don't like, because his bump. I'll explain to you. So the Richmond player, I don't know who it was picking up the ball. He came sort of from his side, bumped the Hawthorn player, didn't hit him in the head, and so basically shepherded, which is what footy was built around. The Hawthorn player went down. There was no head contact. He got up. He played on. There was no injury. No, So he basically bumped him to shepherd and got a week.
That's a bit shit.
Well, no one was hitting the head. No one was concussed. No one was hurt.
It's the action. It's the action the AFL don't like, which I don't agree with. And it particularly sucks, given he is Indigenous and he did design the jumper that they will be wearing. That's kind of shitty.
I think that's the after effect of it. But for me, I'm not obviously. I'm not a Richmond fan, obviously, but I'm more worried about the game, and I would be a bit dirty if an Essendon player shepherding a teammate, which I want to see. We talk about this physicality.
Don't worry about it.
Well, we talk about this, we're a bit soft and all this sort of stuff, and you see that good hard bump. The guys, felt that.
Difficult.
What's the game turning to, Sam?
Difficult for me because I didn't see it, so I can't really comment. But on the face of it, it seems a bit rough. What do you make of the jumpers? Seems like a bit of a clash, if you ask me.
I've had a
lot of dark colours, a lot of a lot of black.
To be honest, though, one will be wearing white shorts, won't they?
Yeah, but you're not going to be checking out their shorts.
Seriously, the game's not played how it was in muddy, Waverley grounds, where you couldn't work out which jumper. The jumpers will be pristine throughout the whole game. We'll be able to work out who's who. Seriously,
I reckon it'll be an issue, but time will tell.
The commentators will make a point of it, but
I'm going. Unfortunately, so I'll tell.
Hey,
tell you
come on!
Oh, come on! 4 hours each way in a car and a train
4 hours
to go and watch my team get thumped. I can't wait. Honestly, I have to sit level 4 because it's an away game, so I'm not really a fan of the nosebleeds. I gotta say.
I'm telling you, Sam, we're going to win. So you're going to have a great trip.
Okay, well, tell me why. That's our next bit.
Tell me why.
No, isn't that I told myself I would never sing on this podcast, and I just did.
Well, that's all right. No problem. No one's listening. Look, for me, I don't know if we're going to win, but here's my thing.
Go with it. We're going to win.
Okay, no, I think we're going to be competitive. The winning is always, it's hard to tell at the end of a game.
You're digging out already. Digging yourself out of the hole.
No. Here's my reasoning. If like today they trained with mouth guards in. I don't know if you saw the Dyson Heppel interview on the Fox shows, whatever one of those things on.
No, I didn't watch it on the Fox.
Jesus Christ,
I tend to switch off football when we get thumped and we're in a bad way.
And you wonder why no one listens to our podcast.
I don't wonder that because people do listen to our podcast. Continue.
Sure. So and I watched a bit of most of the interview with the truck today. And for the first time, you know how we hear a lot of the words that we hear, all the boys are harder, I wasn't learning. So it was just about, they're going to get better. I saw something where it was a bit more there was a bit more sharpness in his answer to the journalist. There was a bit more no nonsense. There was a bit of strength, I'm going to say. So anyway, my theory is if they can have that this week thrown at them where they're being called weak, the Luke Parker, Dylan Shields sort of thing. They've been called soft. They don't tackle. They've had a hard training. The coach looks frustrated. If they come out and play like we've seen, I will be bitterly disappointed. But I think we will find a team that will be a lot more competitive, personally.
We already are bitterly disappointed. It's part of the parcel. It comes with the membership.
Disappointed, I guess.
To be honest, it's in the parcel.
You really need to see success.
If we
feel sorry for you.
If we were playing, like, flip the roles, right? We're the team that's won 3 flags in the last 5 years or however long it is.
Oh, what a world!
We're Richmond, and they're us. They're getting absolutely blasted in the press, that's a bit English, in the media.
Yep.
And we're coming up against that. I'm sitting here going, I don't want to play them. I don't want to be the team that comes up against that
Exactly.
after a week of being pounded. So it's almost double effect, right? Because if we rock up and we show nothing again, it's even worse because we're kind of expecting a little bit of a response to the pressure.
Yeah.
I'm with you. I think if we don't rock up this week and play these like hard football at least, which we say it every week, but anyway, then there's.
But this week we've really copped it, we've copped it in other weeks, of course we have. But I think the Parker thing was a great. Hopefully,
did you just on that?
Hopefully
have you
something that motivates us.
He's copped a little bit of negativity for that.
Yeah. No,
I don't either. I thought it was fine.
Very different to the Sam Mitchell thing.
Yeah, that was a whole other.
That was shit.
Yes.
Whereas Luke Parker can have a go at you about your hardness.
Well, no I was going to say that he's hard. As long as he goes into the next contest head over the ball,
and he would have.
I got no issue. Yeah. And he does. So I didn't think it was.
I have no problem with that.
And hilariously, it was Caroline Wilson that I saw that had a go at him, which is the first time Caroline Wilson kind of sort of maybe was defending us.
First time Caroline Wilson would have talked about something that happened in the game.
Yeah, and I still don't agree with her. So how about that?
Yeah, no, I have no problem with what he did. He's fully within his right to. If you see a player squib like that, and a guy that's played 180 odd games,
yep. And
but if he's a 5-gamer, I'd let it slide.
It still comes back to as well. Luke Parker is a pretty tough unit.
Yep.
So
Luke Parker's got.
If he shirked the next contest, I would be at him, but he doesn't. So anyway, I didn't see the issue with that, but I was interested.
No.
What your thoughts were? In terms of the game itself, not just we've been slammed in the media, so therefore we might win. As good a reason as that is. Obviously, Robbie Tarrant and Gibcus, both defenders.
Yep. So Gibcus was their pick, I think, 14 in the draft. 16, something like that. Yep. Maybe even less than that. I'm not sure. Maybe 8. I can't remember.
Decent kid. I have no issues.
Yeah, good player. He's been playing quite good, actually. Good intercept mark. Handy by foot. Handy player, as you expect from a first-round draft pick.
Tarrant, wily old defender. Nathan Broad being the other key defender. Dylan Grimes.
Well, they got some very good defenders.
And Baker and Rioli playing off half-back. So that's my immediate concern. They won a flag off a back line with Grimes. Well, they won 3 flags off a back line with Grimes, Broad. Well, that's probably it from that lot, actually.
Yeah.
And Vlosten, who's on the bench.
There was a Rance back there at the time. He was pretty handy.
He only played in 1, didn't he?
Yeah, he might have. Well, I thought it was 2, but yeah, I mean, I don't really.
Either way, they did okay without him when he got injured. Some other reasons Richmond scare me. Shai Bolton.
Oh, yeah, very, very good player. Very good player.
Shane Edwards seems to have a day out against Essendon at least once a year.
The other Martin, the second-rate Martin.
Yeah, some bloke named Martin. Do you see, actually, if we can just talk about Richmond?
Maybe Nick will play on Dusty at one stage.
Oh, stop it.
Or no doubt Dusty will play on Nick, actually. Sorry, I take that back.
Oh, Nick will play on Dusty. Oh, no, you're right. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Did you see Hardwick during the week? Said that he's basically okay if Dusty leaves, if he wants to leave Richmond.
I did see that, and I think that's the right thing to say because I think that Dustin Martin would be the sort of bloke that if you said I'd be disappointed if he'd leave, I reckon Dustin would leave faster.
Yeah, that. But he's given them all he can give them.
Oh, it's got 3 premierships. If he wants to go to Sydney, as the example, I think, or GWS as whatever, and get paid say $1 million for 2 years or something like that as a marquee player.
Yeah, no issues.
Yeah. Gary Ablett did it.
He'll probably go to Brisbane. What did Buddy do? No, Buddy was going to go to Sydney and went to GWS, didn't he?
Yeah, Buddy was going to. No, was Buddy? Oh, yeah.
Anyway, it doesn't matter. Other way around.
He was going to go to GWS and went to Sydney. Yeah.
That's what I meant. I said the wrong words.
Yeah, what confused me.
My bad. So, this is still Richmond is still a good side who have a lot of players that won flags, plural. Obviously, Lynch has been in a bit of form as well.
Excellent form, yeah.
Wasn't great last week, but I think 13 goals in the 2 weeks before that. Rewalt still, he's been Jack Rewalt. I mean, he's old, but he still contributes. How that stacks up against our lot, obviously there's a bit of bias with recency because they won a flag and all that sort of stuff. But I worry. I hope that it's Reed on Lynch.
Oh yeah, hadn't thought about that.
Height-wise, it works. Lynch is the kind of guy that he might kick 5, but he might also have a shocker, which might just give Zach Reed a little bit of confidence.
Well, yeah, you're right. I think
as Lynch does.
Although Laverde does often play on the bigger, stronger ones.
Yeah, but I don't see Reed on Rewalt. And that's really the height.
Well, the other issue too is that I assume I haven't overly looked at it. I imagine they'll be playing
they've got Soldo
and so but they'll have an extra ruckman down there at stages.
Yeah. Nack starting ruck and Soldo's on the bench. Yeah, I mean, it's every week. Our back line is how we're going to stop some classy big forwards kicking goals. But
I think
I want to see Reed playing on the best because that's where he's going to end up. So we may as well do it now. And if we lose, well, no one's going to blame Zach Reed.
No, and he had a really good game. I think what was it, 12 intercept or 12 marks last week?
Very solid. And I love it. Just he's so no fuss. He's a no fuss footballer, which is very Dustin Fletcher. Just minimal fuss, and I love it.
And he's quite quick with his hands, and he's thought. You can see he's not like for a guy who's obviously very tall. He's not lopey, he's quick by hand. He's quick by brain.
Doesn't take a long time for the thoughts.
No,
to
he's got that intelligence about a good sign of a footballer. I think. Yeah, I agree. I hope he plays stages on him, but I'm sure that'll depend on who goes up the ground and who stays, because Reed looks like he's staying deeper in the defense.
And it will be. It always is a team thing too. You'll have Ridley chopping out, and
you'd hope that we can get some cover back there when the ball comes in at rates that it will.
You'd hope. And then down the other end of the ground,
our boy,
my boy Peter Wright.
He's our boy. You can't claim him as yours.
Sure.
And I think if anything, I feel like I found him before you found him.
I'm
this your boy rubbish is starting to get to me. He's our boy.
Well,
He's the John Pod's boy.
And if I'm bringing him up, I'm going to call him my boy. I didn't know I was the host until that point. I'm pretty sure I was the first one that said to you, what about Peter Wright?
Oh, don't you dare,
It was a drizzly Tuesday in July, and I said to you, Peter Wright will be a good get. Just saying.
Talking about good gets, there's a few players have been thrown around at the moment out of contract and stuff at this time of year. Taranto's one of them.
Can we finish talking about our team? We'll get into that, but just don't jump the gun. We've spent most of this podcast talking about Richmond.
Well, it's easier.
Yeah, well, it is. Francis and Wright still the tools. Waterman kind of somewhere in between. Perkins.
What do you think of Waterman's role in this game?
When Anzac Day, where you kick 4 goals, great. That's your role. If you can kick 2 or 3 goals with 10 possessions, excellent. But he went missing the week after and then got dropped. So Anzac Day's
he was sick, wasn't he? And then never made the team back after that. Really,
he had a shocker the week after Anzac Day. If he can, I've harped on about it before. Low possession, high impact. You don't have to have a lot of football. You just need to contribute, whether it's goals or tackles or both. If you're getting 10 tackles and kicking a goal and getting 10 touches, that's fine. I don't have an issue with that game. The problem for him and Smith is similar, is that it's, 2 goals and 5-6 tackles one week, but then 0 tackles and no effort or no impact the next week. So, yeah, it just depends what you get.
Sorry.
I was going to say, I'm really glad we're sticking with the 2 ruckmen, just as a side note. And Tommy Cutler is emergency number 1, and I reckon he will be the sub.
He's a good chance for it. So when you look at the other merchants, Zerk, Wanganeen and Harrison Jones.
Wanganeen would be kind of sort of good just for the Indigenous round, but you don't buy into
but he's only played a game and a half sort of since coming back from a little bit of an injury. So
they had to use
maybe that's perfect.
Photo shoots because we seemingly have no other Indigenous players for a team that had like 7. It's pretty sad.
That's just the way it is. I don't think I hope we're actively not choosing.
Well, Sheedy was, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, Sheedy, yeah. Sheedy was.
What were you going to say before, sorry?
I was just wondering if you would think that a couple of questions about matchups for me.
Please.
Does Guelphy or Durham, who I see, Guelphy's named on a wing and Durham's made on the half forward flank. I won't take too much into that because I would think that they'd probably swap roles.
Changes. Yeah.
But do you think one of them has a bit of a negative role or plays a negative role on Rioli, the Danielson? Because
Possibly.
he's a guy that...
I think that's it's a little bit, you stop one, but then you've still got to worry about Liam Baker on the other halfback flank.
Well, the other, obviously, I was going to say Franger, our boy.
Franger.
I think he's been given a couple of tasks that look like sort of defensive,
Okay.
Him
on Grimes maybe is a defensive.
Yeah, I don't mind that. Yep.
Not the worst, because Grimes is very damaging intercept and rebound.
And then the other one I might throw at you is Dustin Martin, Dustbin. Who do you think, like, does Redmond go with him?
No.
Or a McGrath? Does a McGrath go with him?
McGrath maybe. I don't know. I don't know with Dustin
Kelly?
because he's not just a bloke who's got a bit of form. He is
he's an
6 years of brilliant play.
Can play on big stages.
3.5 Smith.
When he sees the lights, if he knows there's a medal for the taking, he's a bit him and Parrish.
All he has to do is
duking it out. Go, no, this is my medal.
He'll get the medal. I have so much. I love the guy, really. I'm torn between sort of team. You know, you can't just put one bloke on him and expect that to work.
Yep. No. I guess I'm not saying that. I guess that it's a team defense, and I think that's what you're always thinking of. But when you've got to, I still think you've got to have guys that are focused on certain things. Like Jaden Short's another guy I'd be thinking of from there who can get a lot of touches, you know, can do a bit of damage.
Can I float Ridley on him?
I don't mind that. 100%. I like that. Ridley's got good pace. He's
from Richmond
height.
Yeah, well, he'd be a bit taller, I'd say, but it's okay. If Richmond was smart, which I'm sure they are, because again, the whole
I got some coaches that know.
I might just get a sign put up here behind me saying Richmond have won 3 flags, just in case you forget. I'm isolating Dustin Martin in that forward line because, through maybe no fault of his own for Dusty, he gets free kicks. If it's a 1-on-1, he will get free kicks, and
I think he
irks me as an opposition supporter. But opposition players will crap themselves.
Yep.
Because they one-on-one.
I would.
Martin. And I think umpires get sucked in a little bit to, not just Dusty, there's other players. So I would. Where they might get softer free kicks than others. So I want a capable defender, which is why I wouldn't want, take your time, which is why I wouldn't want someone like McGrath or Redmond.
Well, I like the idea of Ridley because of his height, probably, because Dusty's great. He's great. There's not a weakness in Dustin, let's be honest. Not like he's crap at above head or marking above his head.
His weakness is he's maybe a little bit inconsistent until finals. But
his weakness is that he has run out of space for tattoos.
Yeah.
There's not much room left. I don't know if he's, what his back's like, but I reckon it'd be covered.
Forehead.
No, he can't do forehead.
3 flags.
Surely he's classier than that. I'm going to make a stupid statement. I'll tell you who would have gone well on him. I reckon would Tom Cutler. Who just sort of the guy who just ran around with him. Yeah, I know. Stupid.
Not sure about that. I don't think it's stupid. I'm not going to sit here. I'm not going to be that rude, but I don't know about it. Look, I thought Ridley was stupid, and you went with that. So
what about now going the other way? Who do you think they'll be focusing on? Who's going to be a threat for them? Who's besides our boy?
Radio silence.
Come on.
I think Peter Wright. Wright is the obvious threat because he's the one that scores goals.
He's our informed player. He's kicked 20. I want to say 5.
Yeah,
3.
Right. No, something like that. Yeah, whatever. Doesn't matter. Him, Parrish. I think Parrish would be less of a concern from them because they seem like the kind of club that just back their midfielders to do a job.
100%.
Do it quite well.
Parrish for 30. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, and I don't know what the medal's called, the best on medal in the Indigenous game, but
the Yukon or something like that.
Yeah, go with it. And I think Draper. I think Nank is a bit older and good ruckman. No issue.
Very good ruckman.
With his ability. But I think Draper has a bit of an edge on him where he's a bit more agile and a bit more mobile and all that sort of stuff. Nank's clever. probably beats him on that front.
But Nank's going to bring the hardness too, which Draper will. It'll be interesting to see how he goes against another hard, tough, physical ruckman.
I like it. And I reckon Draper can. I don't know. If I'm Richmond, I would be. That you asked the question. That's my answer.
Yeah.
Other than that,
That's all you can do.
there's no one really screaming out.
Do you reckon they'll be worried about Sammy Durham? Are we taking him?
No. Okay. Sorry, Sammy Durham, but I think Nick Martin would be someone they would be, don't give him time and space kind of thing because he will hurt you.
Named on a wing?
I don't think he's the one they're looking at tagging or anything. I think they're just they're good and they're solid and they know that. And Dimmer doesn't have to do a lot, I wouldn't think, these days. Like
as you said, Richmond don't need to tag because they trust their system and they've done it. Their system has proven to work, so
good at it.
They're going to back their system in.
It is interesting.
It'd be an interesting test for us though because we've been trying to play that kind of footy. So, yeah, sorry, you say it then.
Well, no. I'm saying we both thought the same thing at the same time.
Jinx.
It's kind of like the Master versus the Apprentice kind of thing.
Bit of a Star Wars theme. I like it, Sam.
Even Apprentice probably oversells us, but anyway.
No, that's about where we're at.
Any final thoughts on the game itself?
Like the first day Apprentice.
Maybe like 3 years before when you're still in year 10.
Yeah, and they tell you to go get like a left-hand headlight or left-hand indicator or something like that,
Former Macca's employee here, I heard stories about people being asked to go get elbow grease.
Things like that.
I never got asked.
Look, final thoughts on the game. As I said, I'm really interested, as I always am, to see what response we get after a week of being pretty much all copying it in the media. So, Dyson Heppel, Dylan Shield, guys like that, it'll be interesting to see how the older players respond because they're the ones that talk about leading the change and driving the new sort of standards.
And
so
to this point, it's all talk. So it's about time to show it.
They're just like us. They're a podcast on legs.
They're a podcast, but they can actually do something about it.
They haven't done it yet.
No. All right, I'm going to go into Who Am I?
One could argue that we've had as many tackles as some of them.
Oh, I never tackled. Don't know about you.
No, but last week there was a couple of zeros.
Oh, right. Okay. I'm going to move into the Who Am I? I'm pretty happy with myself this week for that. So please don't get it again.
The bit where Nathan looks like a dick.
Now, for the people at home, I've asked Nathan about this and said, I don't have to do it if you are in. Oh, no, I pretend because it's, So he's not actually offended by this. Please don't think I'm doing this to harm Mr. Nathan in any way.
Get some sort of thrill out of it. I've got a quick one for you.
What?
I've got a quick one for you.
Oh, yeah. Oh, who am I? Or
just a quick who am I?
Well, you go first. Set the bar.
Born on the 26th of January 1981, I played 232 games with the Essendon Football Club, debuting, it's hard to say, in the year of 1999 and finishing in this season of 2012 with 3 games. I was Essendon's 1,015th player. I played 18th most games played and kicked 73 of the most goals kicked for Essendon. This week, I start a new path. Who am I?
There's a lot of information to gather there. Born in 81,
correct.
Retired in 2012, and this week he started a new. That's got to be McVeigh.
Yeah, Mark McVeigh, old Spike.
Nice. See, it's not that
bad.
I'll just. Did anyone get that? Oh yeah, people got that too. It's okay. Maybe I'm not special. Maybe it was just really easy. But
well, I think
it was the new path that got it for me because it's quite a bit of a news story at the moment. All right, I'm going to do mine in the traditional way. Who am I? For 6 points. I was born on the 10th of October in 1984. Would have been funny if we picked the same guy.
Oh, would have been funny.
I was worried when I said Diesco.
1984, so I'm 3 years older than Mark McVeigh, so I played through his group.
Yeah, you're not going to get it from that. Let's just.
But I want to guess someone. I just want to have a guess.
You realise it brings the whole show down if you get it right.
Yeah, but the chant, like Sam, seriously, if I said,
all right, hit me.
no, if I said Dean Solomon,
No, it's not. I think Adam's guessing Aaron Henneman, and that's a no.
oh, the
Assuming that's related to mine. Murray's coming with his traditional Willie Dick. No, Murray. One day I'll remember, and
we should do that
for you. For 5 points, I debuted in round 7, 2003. And I played 3 games in 2003.
2003?
Yes.
Didn't he debut in 2000? David Hill. I don't know.
David, good guess, but no. I retired in 2015 after 129 games in an injury-riddled career. Bit of a theme here with the injury-riddled.
2015.
Yep.
Injury-riddled. Have you told me how many games he played?
I did say it in that clue. 129.
Oh, right. Yeah, sorry. I wasn't listening. I was thinking.
That's okay. Danny has got it.
Oh, bastard. Injury-riddled. Wouldn't be someone like Adam Cooney?
No. This is where you might get it. This is where this starts getting a bit easier.
Was that a good guess, though?
Who'd you say?
Adam Cooney.
Oh, no. I would have given you something that he didn't play for Essendon his whole career by now, if it was.
Oh.
For 3 points, I am from Thorpedale in Victoria and was drafted from the Gippsland Power.
Oh.
This guy was like, it was talked about a bit that he's from Thorpedale and like potatoes and stuff.
Was it? Wasn't Ben Howlett?
Wasn't Ben Howlett. No, I did think about doing him, but because I mentioned him earlier, I thought that.
Yeah, when I said it, I thought, oh no, he wouldn't do that.
He's from Perth too, I think.
Oh, yeah. Don't worry about
it. No, okay. I wore the number 8 for my entire career.
God, I should know it now. Oh, no. Haven't we done this guy?
Nope.
No?
Nope.
It's not Winderlink, is it?
It is Winderlink. 2 points.
Haven't we done Jason Winderlink?
No.
We've done players like it. He was injury ravaged.
Yeah.
I will agree with that.
His game, 2013 Anzac Day, is one of my favourite games I've ever been to. Probably my favourite game I've ever been to. He could have won the medal. Like, he kicked 4 goals. He was enormous that day. And he was one of my favourites, absolute favourites.
Massive fan of Jason Winderlink. Yeah.
Soft tissue injury galore. The 1 point clue was I am Jason. So, good job. 2 points.
The number, really. I do. I am a bit better at numbers.
I thought you might get it at 4. That's a bit niche, but I thought the Thorpedale clue would be.
No, I don't remember him from being from Thorpedale, to be honest. Must have listened to.
I'm going to get into some comments just because there's one there I want to answer and it's about to go away. David Tags, who is new to the podcast as of 2 minutes ago. Thank you.
Hey, David.
For being here. What has gone wrong in your opinion? How long have you got? Coach, players, game plan, upper management. As a former diehard supporter, I follow the Storm more now.
Ooh, geez, I couldn't. No, don't do rugby.
Won't. If I can just preface this, we won't go into too much detail because we have talked about it a little bit. Yep. We were firmly on players, then we were kind of on the coaches. Now we're back on players.
I think there's something in the club at the moment that we'll find out. It'll be one of those things we'll find out about at the end of the year or next year. They'll go, oh, the reason we lost, we were playing bad is because of blah. Yeah. It'll be one of those things. I think there's pushback from players about some things. And I honestly think it's still, and Sam and I have talked about this, I still think there's some issues hanging from the 2012 season, the hangover of the saga. Some of those players still, personally.
Yeah. I'm with you. I think we'll find something out at some point and go, oh.
Yeah.
That explains a lot.
Like
and the tagline we mentioned and I did get it from someone that commented on the page, so I can't remember who it was.
Yep.
You don't coach effort.
No.
Effort is the base expectation for a football club. You don't coach that, and that's what we're missing at the moment.
Exactly.
So,
and even like to go a bit, just one little bit on it. The Tip and Woody situation is really interesting too. If you look into that, there's something going on there we're not being told. So,
conspiracy.
I don't need to be told. I'm not saying I have to be told.
By the way, people, get your tips in if you're in the comments now, and I'll come to that in a second. We'll do our tips. Talk about your tips. Adam will get flogged again, I fear. Our best has only been competitive against decent sides. Our normal is very bad and is 3/4 of the game usually. We have a good all-round B grade side and young blokes learning. We need another GWS reject, like a hole in the head. What are we talking about? Oh, Taranto.
Oh, Taranto. I don't know if Taranto's not a GWS reject, for one, I'd say.
I'd have him.
I still think that the big issue, and I heard this in Truck's interview today around that, is that the fact that he said, and I'm not quoting perfectly, that it sounded like they wanted to make changes, but there's just no one in the VFL to bring in. And that's partly because all our players that are at that level are a bit injured, or there's just our VFL stocks are just disgusting. And that's something that there's a problem. Part of the problem is there. I think when you look at the administration part of it, there's problems there, and that's the VFL.
Yep. To that end, Joe and Adam have both said they would have bought Tex in, not the racist one, Wanganeen.
Obviously.
Just for clarification, in case you were confused.
We couldn't just draft a Adelaide player in on the Friday.
Geez, I wouldn't mind him apart from the whole racist thing in the Dreamtime game would be pretty ironic. There's an argument there for Tex or Dev Smith, I think. But Dev had an okay game against Hawthorn.
Dev had a really good game.
I'm okay with him being in the side, but if he produces one of those stinker games, then yeah,
I think from my understanding of, again, listening to and reading stuff, that Wanganeen was still a little bit underdone from an injury. So I think that's the main reason.
Though. As is Harry Jones. They're both emergency.
Harry Jones is named as an emergency, yeah, and
so is Tex. So.
Yeah, so I think that's though just naming them, because basically, like, they are. If there was a say Guelphy gets sick or gets the illness that's been going around on Friday, then Wanganeen would have to come in and play, because there's just no one in the VFL to pick. There's maybe a Herd would be the next option, and I guess they feel
we've missed our chance to play him. Yeah, if he was going to play, he would have when we had all those outs against Hawthorn.
There's just no one to pick from. It's a massive issue.
Yep. If I can, please, your tip for
me, Bombers by 21.
And who wins the best on?
Parrish. He's better than that Dusty Martin.
All right. Adam, yes, BZT is an emergency, but he's kind of irrelevant. So.
Yeah, he's in emergency because if one of our tall defenders go down, he's not going to play.
He's never going to be sub.
No, he's never going to make a medical position. You wouldn't go down.
I feel like at this point I have to tip us only because it's a bit of an ongoing joke now. I will say Dons by 300. No. Dons by 2 points. Peter Wright goal after the siren to win it from the paint and from the boundary.
Yep.
From both paints. And Peter Wright to win the best on too with 8.
Fair enough.
I love it. I just make that up as I go along.
Yeah, why not?
It's like a wish list.
Yeah, that's more of what
we're
doing here. We're wishing. We're dreaming that could happen. And we'll wake up with all over us.
I don't want to talk about what that meant. All right. Anything else from you?
2 things.
Oh, God. Okay.
I also wanted to mention that, and this is just a brief thought, maybe it could be a bit of a chat thing for people to discuss. Apparently, the crowds are down at the footy by 20%. And I'm wondering if you're a person that normally goes to games, what's your reason for not going to games, or if you haven't been going to games, or if you like to get involved in that. Because my thoughts are, the two, I think, are COVID, would you say? And I still think the games, umpiring and the softness is starting to frustrate me a little bit as a long-time watcher of the game. But I don't want to be that old guy that starts, I wasn't like when I was young. I don't want to be that.
Bit late for that. I think you're right. COVID's definitely
A
one.
bit
We
late
know
for me
people-
saying that I'm the old bloke. Is that what you?
Yeah. We know of
Oh.
at least one person who is held off going
Yeah.
to the football because of the COVID scenario, which is fair enough. I don't have no problem with that. And you're right. The rules and the umpiring is, and I try really hard not to blame the umpires because I don't think it is. I think it's the rules and
I think it's the AFL.
interpretations, not the actual umpires
The
themselves.
AFL make the rules. The umpires are just telling us their interpretation, and they're not often wrong in their interpretation.
Yep. So I agree with you. If you're in the comments anywhere, let us know if you're not going, why you're not going. And you had 2 points. What was your second one?
Second one. Today, I think it was announced that Nick Cox will be out from 10 to 12 weeks, which is basically the season. So you're making that face you didn't know, did you? So this is what I bring to the podcast, Sam.
I've been at work. I don't know things when I'm at work.
Oh, I get to work. We'll have to
When I
work
work from home,
Sam.
there's a chance I might see this stuff. When I'm
Anyway,
at work, I don't.
My question to the group and to you is, and I don't,
It's the season.
I'm going to preface this with, I don't know if it's possible, but does that mean we can put him on like a long-term injury list and bring in a mid-drafted, mid-year player? Is that, because we have had a bit of success with that. And if so, what type of player would we go for?
Okay, well, on that, Snelling can't be far away.
But no, you can put a long-term injury on like
I
off
know,
your
but
list.
I'm just saying Snelling can't be far away just in terms of getting back in the side.
Just as a general statement, not to do with this.
I don't know the rules around long-term injury lists, so I'll just answer the question of who would we go for.
Yep.
I know Michael Voss's son is available, and he has said we won't be picking him up, which I guess fair enough because dodgy area, that one. I don't think we're going to get a key position player out of it. It's going to be mids.
Well, I'm more. The question is more: what if we could do it?
Winger.
Okay, thank you. That's all I was looking for. Was like, what type of player do you think we would try and bring into the club for the next second half of the year?
Oh yeah, a winger's the real need.
I think the wing is a weak point of ours at the moment. The guys that are playing it, like Guelphy's name there, Martin's name there, Durham name there. Guelphy's not good enough. The other two have played not enough football to know if they're not good enough yet. So
interesting. I don't think realistically we're getting a key position player out of a mid-season draft. So it'll be winger or small forward for me if we go down that avenue. I don't know how the long-term injury stuff works though, so I can't answer that bit.
Yep.
All right. On that bombshell that I know nothing, we will wrap up there. Nathan die again because I'm just hilarious.
My child's been unwell and I think I'm getting it.
You're getting it. Oh dear. On that note,
that I might be dead by next podcast.
Well, if it's just me, you'll know why. It'll be an awful podcast because I can't talk to myself. Monday night review, we will talk about all the reasons why we probably lost the game, and then...
Or will we?
We'll tune in and we'll watch the football, I guess, and then tune into the podcast and find out. All good. Thank you for listening. Thank you to everyone in the comments. As always, we love the input, and wherever you're listening, thank you. We appreciate the support. Go Dons.
Go Bombers.